In October 2019, a 42-year-old accountant named Daniel Mercer woke up at exactly 3:17 a.m. His security system recorded him walking out of his suburban home in Cedar Hollow, Oregon. He was barefoot. He wasn't carrying his phone. He never came back. Daniel Mercer was not the kind of man who disappeared. He had lived in Cedar Hollow for nearly 12 years. Married. One daughter. Stable job at a regional accounting firm. No criminal history. No history of mental illness. According to his wife, Laura, the evening before had been completely normal. They had dinner at home, watched television, went to bed at 10:45 p.m. Nothing unusual. At 3:17 a.m. the front door opened. The home's security camera captured Daniel stepping outside. He appeared calm, not rushed, not distressed. He closed the door behind him. He did not take his wallet. He did not take his car keys. His phone remained charging on the nightstand. The street outside was empty. At 6:30 a.m., Laura woke up and noticed he wasn't in bed. She assumed he had gone for an early walk, but by 7:15, his car was still in the driveway. At 8:02 a.m., she called the police. Investigators quickly confirmed the timeline. The camera footage was authentic. There were no signs of forced entry. No signs of struggle. No unusual activity in the neighborhood. But one detail stood out. At 3:16 a.m., exactly 1 minute before Daniel exited the house, the security system briefly lost connection for 12 seconds. When it came back online, Daniel was already walking toward the door. Detectives initially believed he may have been sleepwalking, but Laura insisted that in 12 years of marriage, Daniel had never once sleepwalked. Search teams combed nearby woods. K-9 units traced his scent for approximately 400 yards before abruptly losing it near a quiet intersection 2 blocks away. There were no traffic cameras at that intersection. No witnesses reported seeing him. Then 3 days later, something changed. A gas station clerk 20 miles outside town reported a man matching Daniel's description entering the store at 3:32 a.m. the same morning he disappeared. The clerk said the man stood silently near the coffee machine for nearly 5 minutes before walking out. There was no purchase. Security footage from the gas station was blurry, but showed a figure of similar height and build. However, there was a problem. Daniel had no vehicle, and there were no rideshare records, taxi logs, or bus departures operating at that hour. How did he travel 20 miles in 15 minutes? Investigators examined Daniel's financial records. Nothing suspicious. No hidden accounts. No unusual withdrawals. His browser history revealed something strange, though. At 2:48 a.m., roughly 30 minutes before he left the house, someone searched the phrase, recurring lights outside window meaning. Laura stated Daniel had mentioned seeing brief flashes outside their bedroom window on 2 separate nights earlier that week. He assumed it was a passing car. Police canvassed neighbors. No one reported unusual lights. Then came the most unsettling detail. Daniel's smartwatch was recovered 6 weeks later in a drainage ditch approximately 5 miles from his home. The device was damaged but partially functional. The final recorded heart rate spike occurred at 3:19 a.m., 2 minutes after he stepped outside. After that, no data. The ditch where the watch was found showed no signs of a struggle. No footprints. No tire tracks. No personal belongings. It was as if the watch had simply been dropped there. Theories began to circulate. One possibility was voluntary disappearance. Matt Daniel staged the event. But investigators found no financial preparation, no secret relationships, and no evidence of long-term planning. Another theory suggested abduction. The 12-second camera blackout raised suspicion. Could someone have tampered with the system remotely? Cybersecurity experts later determined the interruption was most likely caused by a routine router reset that had occurred twice earlier that year. But the case shifted in March 2021. Nearly 17 months after Daniel vanished, a construction crew working along a wooded service road 8 miles from Cedar Hollow uncovered human remains in a shallow, heavily eroded ravine. Dental records confirmed the identity. Daniel Mercer. The medical examiner's report concluded there were no signs of struggle, no defensive wounds, and no evidence of third-party involvement. Toxicology suggested a severe sleepwalking episode potentially triggered by acute stress and exhaustion. Investigators believe Daniel likely left the house in a disoriented state, wandered farther than expected, and succumbed to exposure in the cold early morning hours. The reported gas station sighting was later ruled inconclusive due to low-quality footage. As for the lights Daniel mentioned, police eventually determined a newly installed motion-activated security floodlight from a neighboring property had been intermittently malfunctioning during that same week, producing brief, irregular flashes visible from Daniel's bedroom window. In the end, the mystery that gripped Cedar Hollow had an explanation. Not a criminal one. Not a conspiracy. Just a quiet series of small, unfortunate events that aligned at exactly the wrong moment. Daniel Mercer's case was officially closed in June 2021. But in Cedar Hollow, one detail still unsettles those who followed the case. Daniel had never sleepwalked in his entire life. Until the night he did.